question is, how do we bring the practice to those who aren't open to it?
You have to live the practice all the time, regardless of who's there. That's part of this phase of Ozo. Breathing the clear light is a continuous process. If you have to bring yourself down to that level of lightness that enables you to breathe the light of itself. And that takes care of everything. And part of the problem in this dimension is participation in the darkness to the degree which makes even sensing light difficult. You know the light's present. Then you have to become the light inevitably and ultimately to prove that there is such a thing as enlightenment. And it's accessible. With a change of mind, change of heart, change of energy, change of wave, change of brain, change of intention, change of direction. But first, the desire to give respect, love, compassionate, grace to all beings. So how easy is it to be the light itself? So that whatever enlightenment is or can be manifests through you to all beings, to everyone. So who can be that light? Who can be the kindness of the light? Who can care enough, to conduct themselves in the spirit of peace? Who has that much peace in them to be peaceful? Or is there, because of these times, less likelihood that people will be able to conduct themselves as peaceful beings to one another? Is that potential diminishing in this age? Or is the nature of this age and its darkness and materialism or forms of such begging for more light from each one? Giving each one of us a greater opportunity to be kindness, to be goodness, to be peace, and to be compassionate towards other beings. In the light of bringing enlightenment to each one as a way of life, as a theory or custom from the Far East, but a way of breathing clear light in this moment.
What's the best way to keep the momentum of practice going?
a way is to remember the security of heart, not just the security of others, which may reinforce schizoid tendencies, but the security of heart, and the inner life of spirit, which is not to negate other things or other beings, but to remember something more prior, more directly related to one's spirituality. Not a belief, but a direct connection. Not just with something else, but with your true nature, the heart of your soul. And unless we language it properly, it may be impossible for someone to grasp it as an idea or practice. But it's our nature. It's what we were born to be best at once we tuned into what it is. As a developmental practice in the spirit of becoming a serene heart being, rather than an average Joe or Mary, as such. So the profundity that we were born out of, and in some cases moving towards, is present. It's in the breath. Then it's a matter of understanding what the breath is. Is it just the lungs inhaling and exhaling? Or is it rather something more cosmic, in nature, that reaches beyond our immediate environment, that reaches out to space, touches the stars, and touches the depths simultaneously, in to out, out to in. Divinity is present. Reality is the truth. Not just everything, single thing, other thing, or every your thing or my thing, but the ultimate thing of no thingness in particular, but the oneness of the allness of itself.
So you mentioned talking to musicians and how they seem to put their relations ahead of their music, or give it more power. Can you talk about that?
A certain level of music, experience, participation, and ability requires great effort and focus. And if you want to be in the ranks of the best, you have to give it all you have, and not assume that because your desire is so great that you equally deserve what others have. To get it all, you have to give it all. And this is especially true of music beyond the social, music beyond the theoretical, music beyond the conventional. If you're talking about esoteric levels of intense creative expression, then you have to give that back to the heart of your own being, your own nature, so that it can, in fact, provide you with that in musical reality, musical experience, maybe even musical genius, which is nothing of mediocrity. It's nothing of casual, easy, who cares? It's easy as pie, nonsense. No. And so when we continue to divide ourselves beyond a point, we remain mediocre. Not quite all there. See? Getting by. Getting it done. But not great. In our offering. Not completely surrendered, wholeheartedly from the inside out, giving all that you are and can be back to the world. So if you continue the practice of the socializing, which is dividing and obstructing your own ability to be 100% sound in music and idea and creativity, then see what you're creating. See how you hold back. See how you make it impossible for you to be in the spirit of greatness, for real, where there's only that. Only that. Rather than everything else other than that. When your heart wants the one and only thing itself, see, which is complete mastery over the self, the mind, the thought, and ultimately the world. The all there is. So one has to reflect. Have they invested all that there is to give to their ideal in music? Or are they holding back, giving it a little piddling? Just a little squirt. So is that desire for greatness profound? Is it exhausting? Is it heartbreaking? Is it tragic in nature? Is it like do and die in nature? Is then the dying in the effort to be this greatness, is it the truth of life for oneself? Is it the truth of your heart, your mind, your body and soul? wants perfection and the peace of perfection. See? Not the stench of imperfection. See? Weakness, compromise, see? And failure. Is there more to give? Is there harder to work? Is there higher to climb? Is there deeper to go? Into your heart nature. Have you given it all you have? Are you sure? Or is there more to give? Or are you going to go to an engagement or a gig and then say, oh, I want to do that. I want to be like that. Instead of doing it, you're going there, imagining you have to be like that. Not knowing who you really are, you get lost in the dream of some other being. When you have to give more to receive more from your own heart nature. So you must find then and thereafter people, beings, artists, masters who give it all. So when you hear them or know them, you say, no, this is 100%. This is it. This is the whole thing right here. All given up. Nothing left. Extreme. Yes. Beautifully extreme. See? And happy for it. As all beings are happy for the extreme, the creative. In each and every one. Amen. Q.